A blessed day, everyone. I'm Mr. Rainier Arbibandor from Holy Child Catholic School. I've been teaching for 8 years for grade 12 students.
A blessed day, sir. As a respective educator, what are the struggles that you find hard to overcome and how did you manage to get through it?
So my answer is this. One of the most significant struggles I face in the sheer volume of administrative tasks and responsibilities that extend beyond teaching, grading papers, preparing lesson plans, attending meetings, and communicating with parents can be overwhelming, leaving little time for the one-on-one student interaction I value so much. I've learned to manage this by becoming a lot more efficient. I use a digital planner to keep track of deadlines and create a master schedule for each week. I also try to combine tasks when possible, like grading a specific type of assignment in one sitting or responding to a batch of emails at a designated time each day. And this approach helps me create pockets of free time to focus on my students' individual needs.
Second question, sir. How do you help your students hone their educational skills in your own unique way of teaching?
I would say my teaching style is heavily focused on making lessons relevant and engaging for students. I don't just want them to memorize facts. I want them to see how the material connects to their lives and the world around them. For example, in our Christian living class or philosophy class, we might analyze moral dilemma from a popular movie or debate the ethical implication of the current news story. And I would say this method encourages critical thinking and helps the students understand that our faith and values are applicable to everything they do.
For the third question, sir, how will you build a good connection toward your students?
Building a strong connection with my students is a top priority. My classroom is more than just a place for lectures. It's a safe space where students feel comfortable asking questions and sharing their thoughts. I make an effort to get to know them as individuals, not just as students. I ask about their interests, hobbies, and what they're passionate about. I also believe in being approachable and authentic. I share stories about my own experiences and challenges, which help them see me as a real person. This builds trust and encourages them to open up. Ultimately, a good relationship with students is built on mutual respect and genuine care.
For the next question, what are your motivations in pursuing this choice of profession?
I would say my motivation for becoming a teacher stems from two main places. First, I've been passionate about my subject matter and love the process of learning. There's a certain joy in seeing the light bulb moment when a student finally grasps a difficult concept. Second, and most importantly, I believe in the power of education to transform lives. At a Catholic school, I have the unique opportunity to not only educate students academically, but also to help them develop into well-rounded, compassionate, and faith-filled individuals. My goal is to help them find their purpose and become positive influences in the world.
For the last question, as a licensed professional teacher, what advice would you give to the future educator?
So this is my simple advice to the future educators. To anyone considering a career in education is this: be a lifelong learner, because education is a continuous process. As Socrates said, the more you know, the more you do not know. We acknowledge our ignorance and we embrace the continuous learning. The educational landscape is constantly evolving with new technologies, teaching methods, and challenges emerging every year. You must be willing to adapt, learn from your mistakes, and continuously seek ways to improve your job. Also remember that you're not just a teacher of a subject, you're a mentor, a guide, and a role model. The relationship you build with your students are just important as the lessons you teach. Be patient, be kind, and never forget the profound impact you can have on a young person's life. And I want to end this with quotation by Aristotle himself. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruits are sweet. Thank you, and that's all. God bless.